bonus points and that kind of thing in a few minutes' time. But first, let's get the rest of the sports news on BBC Radio Derby with Ieuan Ivett.
Thank you very much, Dave. Here is the sports roundup, and starting with the women's football, England must not get complacent when they take on Argentina tonight in the Women's World Cup. That's the warning from Chelsea ladies manager and BBC Sport pundit Emma Hayes. The Lionesses are overwhelming favourites to book their place in the knockout stages of the competition with a win, but Hayes believes the South Americans will provide a stern test.
It's highly unlikely there's going to be a thumping this evening, but England are expected to win, and as we know, when you're in expected positions, the automatic response is that it's going to mean a lot of goals. I think for England it's about 3 points, and doing that with a consistent 90-minute performance, and I doubt Argentina will capitulate.
Whilst the South Americans are known for producing legends like Maradona and Lionel Messi in the men's game, it's a very different story for the country's female side, as BBC Sport's Vicky Sparks reports.
They went nearly 2 years without a manager, without a game, without even training as a national side. When the women's team eventually did reform, they then went on strike because they weren't being paid expenses. They protested against the Argentina FA at the 2018 Copa America, where they qualified for the World Cup. There were stories of being provided with kits from 2006 to train in at the Copa America that were far too big. Sleeping on buses, stories of that, all these things that they've had to overcome. So for Argentina to even get to this World Cup has been so huge.
To the men's game now, and it's another day and another championship managerial appointment. Jonathan Woodgate has been confirmed as the new manager of Middlesbrough after signing a 3-year contract. The ex-England defender was part of the club's backroom staff under former boss Tony Pulis, and now steps into his first full-time managerial role. Woodgate will be assisted by former Leeds and Tottenham teammate Robbie Keane at the Riverside. And Chelsea have agreed a deal in principle for their manager Maurizio Sarri to join Serie A champions Juventus. An agreement was reached late on Thursday evening after talks between both senior officials. A deal could be completed as early as later today. It is understood that a compensation fee in excess of £5 million has been agreed, and what this means for Frank Lampard and Derby County, we are yet to know. And West Ham have secured the services of Spain forward Pablo Fornals for £24 million from La Liga side Villarreal. The 23-year-old joins the Hammers on a 5-year deal with the option to extend for a further 12 months. Fornals will join up with Manuel Pellegrini's squad at the conclusion of the Under-21 European Championships, which run until the 30th of June. Rugby. An Australian World Cup winner, Stephen Larkham, has agreed to join Munster as their new senior coach until 2022. The 45-year-old is the latest high-profile addition to Johan van Graan's backroom team, following the appointment of ex-England coach Graham Rowntree. The ex-Australia attack coach succeeds former Ireland fullback Felix Jones. In basketball, the Toronto Raptors have created history by becoming the first ever Canadian winners of the NBA championship. The 114-110 victory was enough to seal a 4-2 series win over the defending champions, the Golden State Warriors. Warriors point guard Steph Curry says Raptors are already looking towards a repeat of the triumph next season.
I think a lot has been, proven about who we are as a team and the fight that we have, and it's a one-possession game to keep our season alive tonight. So we'll be thinking about this one. It's tough, but our DNA and who we are, and the character that we have on this team, I wouldn't bet against us. Being back on the stage, next year.
In cycling, Britain's Chris Froome is facing at least 6 months away from the sport, according to the surgeon who operated on him after Wednesday's serious crash. The 4-time Tour de France champion had a 6-hour operation which has been described as a success. He suffered a fractured femur, a broken hip, a fractured elbow and fractured ribs, and also lost consciousness. Best of luck to Chris Froome in his recovery. And now back to Dave Fletcher in Swansea.
Derbyshire Cricket with Dave Fletcher on BBC Radio Derby.
Well, welcome back to a very sunny